have to sort of talk about it. It was a real shame because I always said it was a criminal you hadn't had a Scotland cap by then because you'd literally. I remember texting you when you got pulled into the training squads for that extended period. I can't. Was it the Autumn Nations or was it the Six Nations you did the training squad for?
The Six Nations, yeah.
And then talk to me about that because I've never had a chance to actually speak to you about how that was.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was really good. There was we were due to play. I think before Six Nations squad, we were due to play England A down at Leicester, and this was sort of maybe mid to end of COVID, and headed down on a bus. We got there. I'd just come. I think I'd just come out of 10 days isolation because my missus had she had COVID, so I had to isolate in the flat, and then managed to get a couple of days training. Got the bus down to Leicester. Woke up in the morning. I was meant to be on the bench, and coach was like, "Game's off. There's 3 positive cases in camp."
Oh no!
So we had a clean bus and a dirty bus. So I think there was 5 or 6 of us on a clean bus headed back up to Scotland. We didn't have to, but the Scottish government recommended that we isolated as well. Obviously, the dirty bus, 20 odd of them, they isolated, but we were told that we should isolate as well. So I was pretty much 20 days straight in isolation, which wasn't great. So missed out on that, and then the Six Nations squad was incredible. You know, you're training along some of these guys that you've watched on TV and that you've looked up to throughout your whole career, and it's where you want to be. And obviously, he's good at speaking to you and updating you with where you are on their radar. But yeah, as you say, it never quite worked out in the end.
Mate, I was honestly heartbroken for you when you didn't get it because it was really. Because I imagine how were the boys like Hoggy and that, and obviously Saw's very famous faces in Hoyk enjoying the fruits of their labour down in the club system as well at the moment. But how was it when did the Borders boys take you under the wing, or were they thinking, "Oh, Melrose lad, you're gonna have to earn your stripes here"?
I think there was more like, "Oh, Melrose lad," but nah, they're all very good. You know, the Borders guys always look after each other. So no, it's good. I played with Saz at Edinburgh a few times, and he's obviously enjoying life out in Ireland. So, so I'm just gonna have to have some milk.
Oh, you've been campaigning that a lot recently. You've been. What was it you had the other night? You were like, "Oh, 2 pints of milk and this, so treat you right," and it was like pretty much just like lean beef or something.
No, I've always liked my milk. You know, I prefer it to water, and people think I'm crazy, but so much goodness in it.
Hey, it works and it's calcium. You can't complain about it.
Exactly.
How was that in the Six Nations? I keep ramping on about it because I love elite sport and I love the mentality people have from it. How was that training session like difference? You know, people speak about it. What people might be able to resonate to here is that it's like the collection of what the best Scotland can offer. How was it going? Because you know, like I'm not saying anybody at Edinburgh's a slouch or anybody's taking it easy, but like when you get these, like you've got like Maitland coming up from like Saracens at the time. Hoggy would have been coming up from Exeter, wouldn't he? So like you're getting all these people coming back to sort of play in Scotland. How did it feel? Just even just putting on like the thistle for the training strip, and you're like, oh, this is different. It's not blue and orange. This is the blue. This is satire blue.
Yeah, it was cool. You know, everything's laid out for you. You get all the training kit, whatnot. But the big difference for me was when you're actually on the training park. You know, your sessions are probably a little bit more condensed, but you can see how Scotland play. You know, the speed of the game is much quicker. The speed of training sessions, and it's also the expectation for you just to do everything pretty much perfect. You know, because everyone else around you, they're not really making mistakes. They're used to that environment, and they're at that level because you know they rarely make mistakes, or it's more than that. They're pulling things off the cuff, and they're just constantly training at such a high standard. And for me, it is a big difference from club to international in terms of training standard. Just everything is there's just that expectation that you should be performing at that level, even if you've been there for 15 years or you've been there one session. It's all the same.
Wow, it was something that I wish I could really experience, and I think we don't. I say we as if we should, but like the public would really benefit from seeing it, like you say, because a lot of people talk about basketball players and when they watch them play not in a game, and it seems like it's almost impossible for them to miss. And like you say, because everybody is just like that skill level is so refined that I imagine watching a training session would be quite eye opening to actually see, like even a video breakdown of training sessions. Because I
Yeah,
imagine like it's like a real rarity when somebody drops the ball and everyone's like, "What's happened? Like, why is the ball wet? The ball shouldn't be wet when we come back in from training."
yeah, no, exactly, and that's probably the other eye opener is you can look at someone on TV and be super critical of them for, as you say, knocking the ball on
Mhm.
or chucking a forward pass, but you see them in training and you're like, wow, that guy's he's world class, literally. um, so it's it is eye opening. People do
Mhm.
perform pretty well at training.
Hey, thank you for listening to this clips episode on YouTube. And then if you want to hear the whole podcast, you can find them on Apple or Spotify, as well as the full video version on this YouTube channel, alongside all the other great content we produce on a weekly basis. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you again on another clips episode or in the full episode podcast. Tweet us, tag us, let us know what you thought. All the links are down in the description. It means the world that you guys come and support us, so thank you very much.